Yep.
What is on your mind?
I believe that Jesus was a Muslim.
All right, cool. I mean, he wasn't a Muslim; he was Jewish. But I understand what you're saying. Islam, uh, the religion of Muslim Islam, whatever, wasn't even around at the time. But I understand what you're saying because he um, was in the lineage of Muhammad or whatever.
Exactly.
But he wasn't a Muslim because it wasn't invented at the time. I've been told that I sound like a Muslim. I was like, well, I'm not. Um, just because I have common beliefs or whatever doesn't make me one thing. Like you can't impose that title on me.
No, it's probably the beard.
Yeah, maybe. No, when I say that I only believe in the Creator, I only worship the Creator and none of the gods, then oh, you must be a Muslim. It's like no. I mean, it's a common belief that we share for sure, but that doesn't make me a Muslim. Jesus wasn't a Muslim because it wasn't around at the time.
See, like here's the biggest thing with Muslims. Like we just worship like the most important thing about our religion is that there's only one God. Okay? Like that is like the big thing for us. And when you say that a person, Jesus, is a God, that is like a biggest no-no.
Well,
And that's
I
why
don't
like
say that.
like I mean that's what Christianity is. You got to believe in Jesus and think Jesus, a man that poops, that have a dingling, is a god, and that just doesn't go well with me.
Well, I don't believe that.
But you're a Christian, right?
No.
No. Okay, this is awkward.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, I your shtick is to find Christians and convince them that Jesus is Muslim, but I mean, it says right there, I'm a former Christian. I'm a faithist. I mean, if you want to talk about what I actually believe, that's cool.
Yeah. What do you believe in? I'm always open to new ideas.
Sure. Well, as a faithist, I make a distinction between the various gods found in the Bible, the various gods found in other pantheons. I don't believe any of them are the creator of the universe. I believe that they would be at best just local entities or deities or elevated angels that have
God
had an
is?
influence in our history, that have done their best to influence us either for the good or for the negative. And depending on what you're who you're talking about, they could be considered evil or good. I don't think the gods are all have the same motivations. I think they're individuals, and um, if you're going to say that any of them are real, then I think it's appropriate to say that all of them are real.
Did you read all this in a book? Like, is this like a religion or something?
Well, it's not a religion. I think it's pretty obvious that when you do some comparative studies in ancient texts that this has been a pretty well talked about and discussed and contemplated topic throughout the last 10,000 years. I mean, it's in books, but it's part of the human story.
What book is it?
It's in books. It's part of the human story. It's 10,000 plus years of conversation. You can find it in lots of books. I mean, if you want a
So you
book,
gathered all the information from different books and made it into a faith religion.
no, I didn't do any of that. What you're saying, I've read many, 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 many books. The term faithist comes from a book. The book is called Owaspi, but it's not necessarily coming up with any new ideas. It's just another book.
Look, man, at the end of the day, I just want a heaven free pass. That's all I want. You know, like I
Well,
just want to go to
everyone's
heaven.
going to heaven eventually. It's the lessons we learn along the way that determine, I guess, how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, but like life is pointless. I can literally get on a life tomorrow, and if I don't know if I'm going a good place or not, that gonna hurt me.
Why do you say life is pointless? That's pretty nihilistic.
Yeah, I mean, like, make money a man-made object and just keep living until you deceased. And then, like, I mean, I feel like afterlife would be more fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I live my life to the fullest, but at the same time, like,
I don't. Doesn't sound like you do. I mean, it sounds like you need some kind of fulfillment.
like
What
it just,
is rewarding that you have? You haven't found anything
I feel like I
rewarding.
was just being a little extreme with the word pointless. I don't think it's completely pointless, but I feel like compared to the afterlife, I feel like it's going to be a greater place.
What do you think we're going to be doing in the afterlife?
It's beyond my comprehension.
No ideas.
Yeah, but I hope it's good, and that's the reason I'm joining these lives and looking for a perfect religion.
Perfect religion. You know, interesting. You think there's a perfect religion?
I hope so.
Why? Why do you put your faith in religion?
Because, like, they all say it got a God, and I just want to follow the right God.
Well, following the right God is probably a good idea. I mean, there are some gods that have been aligned with the Creator, and some gods that are definitely not. Um, you know, I think the thing that gives people purpose, both in this life and the next life, is finding areas in which you can serve your neighbor selflessly and joyfully. If you find a place where you can serve, be of service, then you're on the right path. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. If you're able to serve selflessly and to create harmony and to love, like truly love, then that's what find out how to do that.
I was in a live with a Christian and a Muslim, like 2 different
Hmm.
days, and they were telling me that, like, the Christian person first, he said, no matter how much good stuff you do in this world, if you don't believe in Jesus as the Lord Savior or whatever, like, you're not going to heaven. And for the Muslim person, he literally told me that if you don't pray 5 times a day to appreciate God, doesn't matter how much good deed you do, it doesn't matter. And it's like that just doesn't go with me because, like, I mean, prayers are important or whatever, but like, being a good person is just above everything in my
Those
opinion.
are those are just magic spells that they're talking about. It's basically rituals. You have your faith put into a ritual instead of actually having a transformed life. Think about that. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. You can either have a transformed life or not. You
What
can
do you mean by
be
transform?
okay. Well, one thing religion does is gives you that carrot and stick. If you're this way, you'll go to hell. If you're that way, you'll go to heaven. Okay, so you join a religion and you start doing the things, praying 5 times a day, or doing whatever it is that the religion tells you to do. And you're doing it because you don't want to go to hell. But when you have a transformed life, you become desirous to do good no matter what. You want this life to mean something. You want to be of service to people right now. It doesn't matter what comes after. Right now, in this moment, you want to embody the love of the Creator, the universal source of love. It doesn't matter what the religion says.
I mean, that sounds a lot better than all the other lives that I was in because I just, like, this guy, like, I literally told him, hey, I like to eat pork sometime. And he literally thought I was trolling, so he kicked me out. And I'm like, dude, I was literally serious. Like, I live in America, pork is, I mean, it's not the best, but it's good. Like it just, religion is just so much limitation, and I hate it sometimes.
That's why I left religion, is because I felt like I was being limited. The more questions I asked, the more curious I was about things, the more I felt like I was being squeezed into a box. And since I have left, I have felt liberated, free, and the other thing, when you're in religion, whether it's stated explicitly or implicitly, there's this impetus to cast your judgment on others. They're not in the right religion, or they're doing the religion wrong, or whatever. It goes on and on and on. But when we're just trying to love each other, we're trying to serve each other, we're trying to embody the love of the Creator, all of that goes away. Like, you can live your best life right now according to your highest light, to your inspiration. And that's powerful.
Like I totally agree with that. Like it's like, Sunni and Shia, or Palestine and Israel, and even like back in Christianity when they used to like unalive people for like the church and everything. Like every time there's a religion involved, people get unalived. People have mad conflicts. Like, they just forget that the meaning of a religion is literally just all love. It doesn't matter if you believe in Jesus or Muhammad or Judaism or whatever. Like it's like at the end of the day, we all have blood inside of us. We all have the same organs. Like we're all
Well, I would
humans. And
like to make a distinction between the institutions of religion, which I believe the only reason why institutions of religion exist is to control people with fear and shame. Now, if you're using the word religion like using the teachings of Jesus or the teachings of Muhammad or Buddha or Krishna, and saying that those are religious teachings, I mean, I guess that's fine. I would say that all of those people were not trying to start a religion. They were just trying to shed light onto into the hearts of humanity so that we could all become better people.
like I agree with that. It's like even though I'm not like a super religious person, but like sometimes I really be like, oh God, I hope this goes well. Or, oh God, like it's nice to know there's a higher power that's always looking after you in a way. It's like when there's no religion. Yeah, I mean, religion is kind of weird because like it has limitation and it's kind of bad, but at the same time, it gives you some kind of hope that there is something beyond us. You know?
Yeah, but you don't need religion for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you really think you need religion to tell you that there's hope and something beyond? Even science now, in the development of scientific research into consciousness, knows that consciousness is not housed in our brain. Consciousness is not part of our physical body.
I mean, it's kind of hard to have hope when you're living on a planet that's floating in space with millions of galaxies and stars and stuff like that. Nothing is explained, nothing is clear. So it's like the
Mm.
only thing you can do is have faith in something.
Well, I mean, I have some books I guess I could recommend to you, but I mean, the first book I'd recommend to you is the Book of Owaspy because it does explain things. It explains why all the religions are here and how they got here, and it does explain how the universe works. And you can believe what it says or not. It's fine, but it definitely
Do
makes
you mind like
things.
summarizing it? Like what's like the purpose of that book? Like what was the reason the religion created? Like if you can like just tell me like real quick, summarize it.
Sure. First off, I wrote the name of the book in the comments. So the creator of the universe appoints sort of an administrative body of angels for each world, and the head, the governor, is called God, but that's not a name, that's a title, right? And so every world has a God or a title, an office of God. But that office is filled with like an angel for a certain period of time, and then they move on and do something else, and that office is filled with somebody else, and it goes on, until there's no need for it anymore. The reason why there's so many religions and so many conflicts in the world is there are beings out there that are um, in those realms, in those heavens, and they listen to their own wisdom, and they think that they can do things better. And so they branch off, they disconnect from the creator, they create their own religions, they create their own sort of heavens, and their whole goal is to accumulate worshipers so that when those worshipers die, they will go to their heaven and their sort of population will just increase. And basically, they're accumulating spiritual slaves.
That is just the next level of thinking. Holy shit.
Well, but it gets better. It gets better. So now, without that's only the first part of the story. If I stop there, the the emphasis on the religion. Oh my goodness, I have to pick the right religion, or I'm going to be a spiritual slave forever. No, that's not the way it works. So these false gods and their false heavens will eventually just turn into chaos, basically like a hell. But the good news, this is the good news, the second part of the story is those gods, those false gods and their followers are never abandoned. Even though their heaven may turn into chaos, may turn into hell, whatever, the Creator will always send a legion, an army of angels to rescue them, to rehabilitate them, to put them back on the path to the light. This is why I'm saying it doesn't matter what religion you choose. You may choose the wrong religion and you may wind up going to one of these chaos heavens, but that's not the end of the story. You're going to be rescued. You're going to be put back on the correct path. I think it's important to maybe avoid them if it's possible. But at the end of the day, it's more of a speed bump. And it's not the end of the story when it comes to reality. I mean, eternity. So
You're
that would
saying
be
that
a somewhat of a summary of what a WASP tries to convey.
so,
I
so
would
what you're
highly
saying is
recommend
that
reading it.
like we all gonna go through hell and gonna be rescued if we're like true
I don't think
believers?
everybody is going to go through hell. I think there are ways of avoiding it. But I think if you attach yourself to those false gods and their false religions, and it may be a longer road, But I mean, every mistake that we make is an opportunity to learn, including those types of mistakes.
I see. Wow, that like I never had anyone think of it like that. That's kind of creative, but I like the good endings though. I like being rescued.
Yeah, we're all gonna. If we get stuck in some place dark, we're gonna get rescued.
But, but,
So
but
that's
what
the thing.
about Buddhism though? I mean, they're kind of cool. Like you come back as a fly or an elephant or like whatever.
Buddhism is totally cool. Love it.
Like I mean, I would love to come back as a like monkey or a giraffe or something, or
Well,
maybe
I
another
don't really
human
believe
being.
in reincarnation, but I do like the principles of Buddhism quite a lot. But anyway, my lunch break is pretty much over. I really have enjoyed our conversation. Feel free to follow me, and I'll follow you back, and we can stay connected. If you have any further
Definitely.
follow up questions or any conversation you want to have, I do try and do this on my lunch breaks as often as I can.
Yeah, for sure, man. Good,
All
good,
right,
good
man. Well, I
conversation.
hope you have a great night.
You too, man.
All right. Bye.